Today I've got my thoughts on all of the LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Moments sets from 2021, and we'll start out with the Herbology Class, which was actually my most recent build for the month of February. And for the minifigs, we've got Neville Longbottom, Cedric Diggory, and for the teacher, for the Herbology Class, we've got Professor Sprout. And I think the minifigs for this one turned out not too bad. They actually look perfectly good for this set. And I'm actually perfectly fine with how they turned out. And for the little side build that's included with it being one of those noisy plants, I think that's a perfect touch for this book. So pretty happy with that, and I'm not actually going to be removing every feature from each set. I'm just going to be covering each set in book form, and I think this set is just really, really great. It's not one of my favorites for the four here, but it's probably not my least favorite either. So it's definitely somewhere in the middle for favorites of the four that I did this month. And then we've got the potions class with Professor Snape, Draco, and an unnamed Gryffindor student in the potions class, which this one is done slightly different on the inside from all the others, which they're all done differently on the inside, even though they all look the same on the outside. And I think this one might be probably my number 2 favorite, and that's just because this one was actually a really enjoyable build, even though it was one of the more complex builds for these 4 Hogwarts Moments sets from last year. And just because Snape is actually my favorite Hogwarts teacher, and that's probably got something to do with this one being my second favorite Hogwarts Moments set. And I just really think this one turned out really, really good. Do wish that the color they used was a tad bit darker. Like, this was a bit more brown, but wish the green they used for this would have been a little bit darker. But other than that, it wasn't bad. But for the potions class, this was done really, really well, and I really like it. And then we've got the charms class with Flitwick, Cho Chang, and Harry Potter, which the charms class and the transfigurations class were actually the only 2 Hogwarts Moments sets that I originally planned to get. And the only reason I was actually going to get these was for the minifigs themselves. And that was just so I could get Harry, Ron, and Hermione in matching torsos. But I ended up getting all 4 sets instead, and I'm actually going to get the next 2 at some point. But for the charms class, which is another one that's near the bottom for me, the build just wasn't really there for me. It wasn't really as enjoyable as the potions class or the transfigurations class. So the build just wasn't really there, and I just wasn't really, as I was building it, I just wasn't really, my head just wasn't really feeling it. And so I just didn't really enjoy the build, and that's probably why the Charms class is one of the lower ones of these 4 Hogwarts moment sets. So that's probably the main reason why. And then we come to my favorite, which is the Transfigurations class, which is actually the one that I started with all the way back at the start of the month of February, which for minifigs, you get McGonagall, Hermione, and Ron. And also, as a nice addition, you get a Scabber, which is really nice addition. And I've got a couple ideas of how to use that actually in the city, so that'll be fun. And the builds for this were really fun, and so I really enjoyed this because I was just enjoyed it because I was having fun with just the different ways that they were doing the builds for everything, and just how it was all getting attached, and the place I was getting turned into an actual book, which was something I'd never seen before from Lego. So that was something new. So I'm pretty happy with how everything for that turned out. And overall, I'm really happy with all 4 of these great Harry Potter sets. And that still leaves the Lego Harry Potter Forbidden Forest set from 2020, I think. Yeah, 2020. Still sealed in my backlog. So hopefully I can get around to that at some point. I don't know when, but we'll see. As for these will actually, I have spot planned for these as actual books in book form. So this will probably be the only time you guys will actually see these on video. So that's everything that I've got for the 4 2021 Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts Moments sets, and you guys can tell me your thoughts on this video in the comment section below, and just like and subscribe for more because I will do more in the future.